celebrating the oak tree with a dream catcher and bringing alive the spirit of the oak, the king of the forests, the most revered, one of the revered trees, noble trees of the forest, bred in law, Irish law.
I am the voice of your history. Be not afraid, come follow me.
This is the well that we drink from. It's a holy well. It's called St. Kevin's Well. It's been here for centuries. It's beautiful, fresh, clear mineral water, and it's a sacred spot.
Hi, my name is Keith. And this is the inside of my tree house, which is around 70 feet from the ground. There's some food I have just in case. Stuck up here. Sleeping area.
This is sacred ground! There is a case on anyone who violates the sanctity of this land!
Where do I sleep through all the cold winter long? I am the force that in springtime will grow.
Now you can see that the conditions weren't ideal, and they stayed there on site all over Christmas with all the storms that were raging and the wind howling and the rain and all of that, so it couldn't have been very, very pleasant. We're joined by Jeff Colquhoun, Adrienne Murphy and Aidan Corcoran. Now, Jeff Colquhoun was originally from Derry, then went to live in Scotland, worked as a scientist. He did applied physics in university. He worked installing computer systems, great lack of fulfillment in that and various other jobs, and became involved in conservation projects. He's 34. Adrienne Murphy is 29, and she's from Dublin. She went to UCD, then went to Glasgow. She has a master's in English literature and went into journalism and then writing comedy. And Aidan Corcoran is 23. He's the youngest of them all. His background is in art and homeopathy and modelling. Jeff, let me start with you, because you're probably one of the bosses of the outfit and so on, and you look like an eco-warrior, right? And you all look like eco-warriors, indeed. Is there some kind of spiritual thing were you talking about during the week in this whole place and this protest?
Well, there's a spirituality which underlines the root of everybody's reason that has drawn them to the Glen of the Downs to attempt to be the voice for nature and speak for the spirituality that is at the heart of Celtic culture, and it is something that has unfolded throughout the campaign, that many people have identified with a common spirituality based on the respect for nature and our landscape. And we've made the stand at the Glen out of, I suppose, desperation, because it is a violation against our perception of spirituality, or as Indigenous people, it seems that the very beauty of the landscape has been ripped apart, and it's a landscape that has inspired musicians and poets for thousands of years, and it's part of our cultural heritage, and it's one of the most valuable things that Ireland has to offer, that people from all over the world come to experience the beauty of Ireland's mystical landscape. And we are part of the continuity of the spirit of the landscape, and we're here to make sure that it's there for generations to come.
Yes, I know you were living in Essex when you came across one of your first experiences of protesting against building development in a nice woodland area and so on. And you learned there that people can make a difference, is that right?
Yeah, I was living in a small village adjacent to a large new town, and the new town was nicknamed Toy Town because it was seen as a model village, and we became aware that there was an area of woodland adjacent to the village which had a large wetland area, had many endangered species there that I for many years had enjoyed walking in, and we became aware that it was earmarked for housing development. And I formed a conservation group to raise awareness to this issue and to invite people into the area. And through the course of a year, the local people of the area, who were often scared to go into the woods, became more familiar with it. We had guided walks, fungal forays, all sorts of picnics in the woods. Mm. And when the local council moved in to drain the wetland area, the actual local villagers got together and they filled in the drainage ditch to prevent the great crested newts from being flushed down the drain. And I think that was the first warning the county council got that something wasn't quite right.
Yes, and you succeeded in that, on that occasion, in making a difference, was it?
That's right. It's now an 18-acre nature reserve.
Is it? Is it really?
Yeah.
I see. Adrienne, graduate MA in modern literature. It's a far cry from living in a tree house in the Glen of the Downs. Why?
Well, I think, I don't know if it is that far a cry from living in a treehouse at the Glen of the Downs, because, you know, so much literature shows a reverence for nature, a love and a reverence for nature, some of the best literature. And my parents, who are here at the moment, brought me up with a love and a reverence for nature. I first visited the Glen of the Downs when I was about 8 years old, so I've always loved the place. When I found out in a small magazine, it's a weekly magazine called Pobble and Dulra, which carries excellent social and environmental information. I read in that last July that the Glen of the Downs was sort of threatened with a chop, and I just got down there as quick as I could, and I met other concerned people who wandering around the woods basically, and some people had begun to start building there, and I've sort of been involved since then.
Yes. What is the reaction of your parents to you doing this?
Well, they're very pleased. I mean, they also love and respect nature, and that's why I have a love and respect for nature. And that's why I feel that we are part of nature, and I feel like we're at a crossroads at the moment in Ireland, in Irish history, where I know we're using crossroads, these kind of road puns start coming in automatically, but yeah.
Yes. How trying do you find the conditions, Adrienne?
I mean, it hasn't been an easy ride by any means. It can be very stressful living with that many people. Like, there's a lack of privacy. I mean, the Glen itself is absolutely beautiful,
yes.
And when you get to hear the birds singing over the incessant drone of the juggernauts rumbling by, it's great.
Yes, you're just off the road, really.
Yeah, literally just off the road.
And are you in a tent or in a tree house, or what?
No, well, I mean, we've built a tree house, and I go between a tent and a tree house.
Yes. And what about, if I may say so, the toilet arrangements and hygiene arrangements?
Well, I mean, we're all environmentalists at the Glen of the Downs, so we're very careful not to you know, pollute our environment.
Yeah.
So
but you have to go to the lavatory.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe
constructed.
Yes,
we've made what we call bog toilets.
Bog toilets.
Because the woodland is an alluvial woodland, the actual ground is quite good for composting in. So yes. What we've done is we've dug a pit. We're actually on our second one now. And what we do is we dig a pit, and we construct a toilet over it, and then a bender, so we have a roof, it's a cover from the rain. And then we go to the toilet in our little hole, and we cover it over with straw and soot from the ashes from the fire. And that helps it to break down faster, and also to keep flies away. And then when it's sufficiently full, we cover it over with more ashes and straw, which helps it all break down much more quickly.
And is there a degree of privacy in this?
There is, yeah. It's covered over. It's a covered structure.
Yes,
you have a bender over.
And how did you survive? Was it really tough during Christmas with that appalling weather that we had? Mind you, you were in a forest, I suppose. You were in a woodland.
Well, my family,
was bad.
None of my family live in the country anymore, so when they came home for Christmas, I went to visit them, actually. But no, the conditions weren't that bad, really.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Very beautiful, yeah. To see the full energy of the winds.
Yes. This is nature in the raw.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And are you in a tree house, Jeff?
Yeah, I stayed in a tree house over that period of time.
And does the tree shake?
It doesn't just go backwards and forwards, it twists and turns and moves up at all different sorts of angles. It's like being at sea more than being on the land.
Yes. Yeah. Now, what about the people who would say that they'd rather see a few trees knocked down to make way for a dual carriageway rather than sitting for an hour in traffic? What is your answer to those people?
Have you seen the cartoon that was in the Irish Times last week?
By Martin Turner.
Martin Turner,
very cleverly says development in the Glen of the Downs will only get you to gridlock in South Dublin 23 seconds faster.
Yes, there is a strong argument in that point. It will only get you to the gridlock about 23 seconds faster because the gridlock is down the road, and that has happened. You know, we all learned to hate and detest Naas and Newbridge because they were such bottlenecks when you were on that run to Limerick or Cork or whatever. Now they've passed Naas and Newbridge, so they're terribly popular again, but the next bottleneck is Kildare town and thereafter. Yeah. And all that rush is merely bringing you to the next bottleneck and so on. Lorraine, do not sit there. You work for the AA. You must have some sort of an interest in all of this. What comment do you make on all of this? Are you representing the motorist in this, or...?
Well, personally, I'd like to say first that I do admire and respect the work that the Eco Warriors are doing. I have a great love for the environment, nature, wildlife, etc. myself. the way the AA feel about it is that we support road improvement. And you were saying there about the, you know, only 23 seconds gained on that stretch of road. And although it is a frustrating bottleneck, I don't think that time is the issue. I think for that stretch, safety is, because there's 24,000 cars use that stretch every day. So, you know, with the dual carriageway in place, well then obviously it'll be a lot safer. And with road improvement, we depend largely, our economy is a rural economy, so by European standards, you know, we depend heavily on road transport. And then the car itself allows us mobility and freedom.
But do you think it's a good trade-off? Would you be in favour of... Now, remember, Wicklow County Council say there's 2% of trees involved here. That's all.
Yeah, I would like to see a situation, and whether it could come to that, I hope it could, where there would be a compromise, because I do take, you know, the points from both sides, and I think it's very sad, and it's a great pity when, you know, both sides go to the extreme and they can't sit down and talk and hopefully compromise a little on both sides and come up with a happy medium.
Line
I don't
three,
know whether...
sorry, Lorraine, line 3, I'm taking a call. Hello, line 3.
Hello, good evening, Gay and Eco Warriors. How are you all?
Hello.
They're good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm a Greystones resident, and I travel to the Glen of the Downs twice a day, morning and evening. I'm the one that hoots at 7:30 in the morning and probably 7 o'clock in the evening.
Are you taking passengers in your car with you?
No, just on my own, unfortunately. However, having
is your hoot a sign of approval and support?
Absolutely.
Is it? I see.
I get worried for the security people because they wave at me as well. So, however, look, I've grown up in this area. I've lived here all my life. I'm almost 30, and I think it's a beautiful area. I don't see any need to develop the site for any further speed of traffic, contrary to the Wicklow County Council's statement about 10 days ago to say the amount of accidents on the stretch of road. I know of many more accidents on faster stretches of road in the area, but not on that same particular stretch. And I just want to say, keep it going, and best of luck in the High Court.
Thank you very much.
Good
Good caller, well done. Okay, line 2. Hello, line 2.
Hello, Gay. How are you doing?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not sure if all of this is a good idea. Basically, I'm a man that travels around the world from time to time. I've seen abject poverty. I've seen fratricide and genocide in various countries ravaged by war and famine, in particular in North Korea. And I see lots of young people who have idealistic solutions about the likes of saving the environment and saving this and saving that. And I think it's way out of whack. I think their energies have been lost. What we're talking about here is 2% of the area. You know, you still have 98% forestation in the area. I think it's an awful waste of energy.
Do you want to answer him, anybody?
I think
Aidan wants to answer that. Yes, Aidan.
Very good.
One major important point that a lot of people seem to be neglecting is the fact that if you cut out the front line of trees in the Glen of the Downs, those are the trees with the most developed root system. Because of the nature of the Glen, it's a scree slope. The majority of trees have very shallow root systems. If you cut out those frontline trees, erosion will take out a large number of the trees behind it. Also, sub judice, I cannot talk a lot about this because it's coming up in court and we have a judicial review and whatever, but the fact that you take away 2% of the trees, the windfall, the water erosion, and all the other things that will happen when you take out those 2% of trees will in fact result in quite devastating,
Yes, caller.
Yes, Gay. I would just say that, admirable and all as it may be, I think that they have a lot of energy, these so-called eco-warriors around the world. I think that it's time to focus on human beings. And when you find countries like our own, where there is deprivation and poverty and people are starving, I would love to see the energy of these young people focused in on them, primarily, and secondarily perhaps on the trees, but primarily on human people.
Adrienne has an answer for you.
I think that, one of the big sort of things that are being missed in that sort of idea is that we are actually part of nature. Human beings are nature. We depend on clean air, clean soil, and clean water, and also a predictable climate to be able to survive, to keep on going, so that our children and our children's children can actually survive. At the moment, the way I was saying that we're at a crossroads in Ireland, the moment we can decide to go on with creative sort of life-enhancing projects and planning, or we can go down the road of sort of mass development, sort of throwing concrete all over the place and ripping away the trees, which human beings actually do depend on for oxygen. I mean, all around the world at the moment, trees are being cut down.
Yes.
I just met, just a couple of days ago, I met an American man who was very interested to see what was happening at the Glen of the Downs, and he said the same is happening all over the States. All over the world, people are having to physically defend trees.
South America, Amazon, all of that area.
Yeah, I mean, the Glen of the Downs is actually our rainforest, so
Yes.
we are considering human beings, we're kind of fearful that of ecological imbalance is going to have an impact on the future generations.
Right, thank you, caller. Anyway, Aidan, you have a different dwelling from a tent and or a treehouse. You're in a cave.
Yeah, I live in what's called the burrow.
The burrow.
Yeah.
Is this a cave you made or a cave that was there that you discovered?
This is a formation that's been in the area for quite a long time, I'm sure, and I've just occupied it and modified it.
You're in an actual cave?
I'm actually underground, yeah.
How big is the cave, roughly?
Big enough to sleep four people.
I see. And have you matting or of some kind?
I've got a stone-lined floor over which I have a tarpaulin, and I have, on top of the tarpaulin, I have a couple of pallets, on top of which is all my bedding.
Yes.
It's more than
What
adequately
have you
comfortable.
learned, Aidan, since you started on this caper?
Well, I've learned a lot about climbing.
Yes. Climbing trees, you mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I've learned a lot about the environment that is there.
Yes. But wait a minute, you're cheating a bit now. You know somebody in the area, Padre told me, and you're getting a bath 3 times a week.
Oh,
you
two to three
clean
times a
little
week.
devil, you.
Well, in the summer, I have to say, in the summer I wash in the river.
You wash in the river?
I wash in the river, yeah.
But not over Christmas. What is that strappy thing you have there on the desk? What
This
is that?
is, shall I stand up and demonstrate?
Of course you can stand up,
This
yes.
is a pretty standard piece of kit for
eco-warriors?
Well, with a name I'm not really very comfortable with.
No.
We're not really warriors, we're peacekeepers.
Peacekeepers.
This is 2 leg straps.
Yes. Yeah.
Fit on over
You'd
here.
make a great telephone linesman with this thing.
Oh, yes, you would indeed.
You should be working for Unpost.
They wouldn't pay me enough.
Actually, they have to knock down more trees in order to make more posts and poles and all of that stuff. Do you have to do it? And that helps you climb the tree then, does it, and keep you safe?
I'll
I see.
demonstrate this now.
Couple of shackles.
We really wanted to bring in a few ropes and abseil down from your rigging, but
Indeed,
your producer
yes. That
wasn't too into
that
the
would
idea.
have been interesting. We haven't got a handy tree right enough to see you doing it, but I'm sure it works. Well, that's all very impressive. What else have you got there? What is the other strappy thing?
I'll just put this on for comfort.
If you go wrong with that, Aidan, if you go wrong with that, you could easily spoil your prospects. You know that, don't you?
This is a pretty standard kit. These have to be quite tightly put on. I'm not going to tighten it up now because of
and you
the
clamber
time
up the
thing.
tree with that and anchor yourself. What is the other
What are our
strap you
safety
have there
harnesses?
in front of you? What's that?
These are safety straps. These are
yes.
for when you're up in your tree.
Yes.
And you're swinging from branch to branch. They're a bit caught up at the moment.
You're swinging from branch to branch.
You loop this over a branch, like so, and then feed it round through itself. That's a safety harness.
I see.
And then you can clip that onto your harness here.
And why sew the twigs and pieces of branch and so
these
on?
are presents.
These are what?
These are presents.
Presents?
Yeah.
I see. There's one for everybody in the audience, is there? I'm going to be impressed with that lot.
Everybody in the audience if they want it. This is a Bridges cross I made for you today.
Well done. Bridges cross, yes.
This is a dream catcher.
That's a what?
A dream catcher.
A dream catcher.
These are for
well,
your
I'm
house.
very familiar with the Bridges cross, of course, because it was our insignia in RTE, of course, and I get sent some from
Bridges Day coming up very soon.
Yes, Bridges Day coming up very soon. And what a dream catcher? What does this do now, Aidan?
This is to focus the good energy around your bedroom area, your bedding area, so that you have pleasant dreams, and to hold in any negative energy from your dreams and release it in the sun in the morning.
And you just wave it a bit like that?
No, you just hang it in your room.
Just hang it in your room, and the dreams get caught in the mesh?
Yeah.
How very pleasant. You will never turn... Can I keep this? Is this for me? Thank you very much, Aidan. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I will treasure that straight from the Glen of the Downs. I must say that I'm more than a little along the road with you because my family come from that part of the country. And I remember the Glen of the Downs when it was a very, very little country road indeed. Would any of you turn violent at any stage? Or is that a
non-violent direct action.
Non-violent direct action.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Jeff. Were you ever violent?
Was I ever violent? Perhaps as a child I had a few tantrums.
No,
but
I'm
I've
not
grown out of that.
I'm talking about in this present carry-on.
No, everyone is committed to non-violence.
Yes. And were you ever in jail? any of your protests?
I've been arrested once for playing a flute adjacent to a chainsaw operator and charged with breach of the peace. I was in jail then for a long weekend.
For playing a flute beside a chainsaw operator?
Yeah, found guilty, fined £100.
I would have thought a chainsaw would win out hands down against a solo flute.
So did I. I was a bit surprised at the outcome myself.
But the judge didn't. £100 for disturbing the peace.
Apparently, yeah.
I see.
Breach of the peace.
And in the nick for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I see. So, it would appear if this judicial review is happening that you've won at least. Are you comfortable there, Aidan? You're all right, are you?
I feel dressed again now.
Pity you wouldn't darn your trousers there while you're it looks as if you've won sort of one of the rounds, Jeff and Adrienne. Have you not? You've
That's
won.
a good start.
At least it's brought it to a stop. So they're going to consider the whole thing again. Have you another phone call there, Ronnie? Line 1. Hello, line 1. Yes.
Hello, Gay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, while I hate to throw a damper on things, I
Yes.
saw a video that was made in the Glen of the Downs very recently. And while they may be eco-warriors, their behaviour definitely wasn't human-friendly. They weren't people-friendly people at all. And this is a video that was made when people were trying to do their job in the area.
What do you mean by that? Specifically, what did you see?
Well, people banging on drums when people were trying to speak.
Yeah.
Licking camera lenses. Expensive. And while I don't think that's funny, it's not very pleasant for somebody who's using a camera that doesn't belong to them when some idiot comes along and sticks their tongue on the camera lens.
Jeff, would you defend yourself against that charge, please? Did this carry on happen? It did?
It's certainly non-violent. It's a form of raising awareness to the issue without
right
harming
enough,
anyone.
licking a camera lens is not very violent, I must say.
It's not
You were intimidated, were you, caller?
No, it wasn't. I wasn't
Oh, you
directly
weren't,
intimidated, but I know two people who were there at the time,
Yeah.
and the behaviour was intimidatory.
Yes.
And it wouldn't make one be very, if you like,
Sympathetic.
amenable to their point of view.
Yes.
They were very aggressive.
Yes.
Can I
what
just
do you-
ask when that happened? Or?
When did that happen, caller?
Well, it happened when there were people there clearing some of the scrub at the side of the road.
I think this has to be seen in the light of the chainsaw operators actually felling on trees on top of members of the public.
No, that's not true. They weren't felling trees, they were felling scrub that was already down and had to be cleared off the road that was causing an obstruction.
We have 55-year-old trees. We have trees that you can count the rings in the section. There are 55-year-old ash trees that have come down as scrub. These are mature trees. These are not scrub trees. They may look small in comparison to some of the larger trees in the area, but they are old trees. They are ash, and they look smaller, but they are mature trees.
Nobody is saying that progress, that we don't want to tarmac the world or anything like that. But that piece of road is very, very dangerous. And as Lorraine Keane pointed out earlier, people are important. And people's lives are at stake here. And you know that stretch of the road has a dreadful bend on it, and that has been unplanned for years. And like these people were there doing their job, and they were intimidated. And this was witnessed.
Okay, caller, thank you very much indeed. I'll go for line 2 then.
Line 2, good evening, Gay.
Good evening, line 2.
I'd like to ask your campaigners, who finances them while they're on their campaign? Are they drawing social welfare?
I was about to ask that question myself.
Or are they doing it out of their own resources?
I'm self-employed. Adrienne is
self-employed doing what?
Multimedia services and solutions providers.
But how long have you been down the Glen of the Downs?
Well, my two partners run the business in Dublin while I'm in the Glen, and I run the books from the Glen, from the cave.
You run the books from the cave?
Yeah.
Well done, Aidan. That's a good trick. Right. Okay. Adrienne? Are you drawing the dole, the man wants to know?
I work as a writer and I work in publishing. I work for myself as well, so I can do my own work in my own time, and I can come and go between the Glen and my own work. But also, there's a huge level of support for the people at the Glen of the Downs, people who feel who just as strongly as they do about the environment and about trying to stop the trees from being felled, but don't have, for whatever reasons, they may have children, full-time jobs, they can't actually physically defend the trees themselves.
And they bring you food.
They donate.
And so on.
Huge donations come into the Glen all the time, so that's how people
are
get
you on
support.
social welfare?
No, I'm not claiming social welfare. I'm relying on the hospitality of the Wicklow people. I'm relying on those in Dublin who do fundraising events. I'm relying on people in Dublin who do busking to raise funds for the campaign. There's a whole series of fundraising tasks that have continually been in support of the Glen and provided.
Right. You happy, caller?
Well, what does it cost to run the show? I mean, how much per week, how much per day? What kind of money are they talking about?
We don't get any wages.
They don't get any pay.
They're just doing it out of the goodness of their heart, and they're doing it out of their own resources.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I think he's kind of disappointed with that answer. Aidan, what do your mother and father think of you doing all of this sort of?
They're totally proud of me.
Totally proud of you?
Totally.
Are they really?
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
There's no question of why don't you sort of tidy yourself up and get a job or go out and...
I have a job.
You have a job. You're doing it then, I see.
I have my own job, I have my own business. They couldn't be prouder. Like.
All right. Okay. Right. Well, when this is all finished, one way or the other, will you all go on to do some other conservation thing? Will you pick another site somewhere else? And
no, I've got a task building a Celtic roundhouse in Galloway in Scotland that I hope to actually undertake. I'm meant to be the project manager of this task.
Very good. And Adrian, you'll go back to your writing.
I will, but there's also other forests in Ireland, Santry Woods in the north of Dublin, Ballyseedy in Tralee, and also a forest in Wexford, which are kind of for the imminent chop at the moment.
Adrian, how many years of your life do you intend to dedicate to this sort of...
Well, I mean, I dedicate I dedicate my writing to it and many other aspects of my life because I think it's so important.
And you'll go back to your job, Aidan, will you? You'll go back to your partners.
I'll keep the business going, but the business that we run is, well, we call ourselves Evolutionary Multimedia Catalyst. So our whole objective of our business is to be able to sustain ourselves in these type of projects. I intend to devote my entire life to this.
Well done, well done. All right, we'll let you go. Good luck to you. We won't comment on the court case coming up, but at least it's nice to know that you are ideologically inspired enough to take on this job.
Read out a little note. This is
a little note.
An 8-year-old boy who came down to learn how to climb trees today, and he wrote us a letter on his computer. Very short and sweet. His name is Connor, and I'd just like to say hello to Connor if he's...
Connor, 8 years of age.
It says, "Dear Eco-Warriors, ever since I have known about you, I have been interested in you. I think that all of you deserve a medal. You put your lives at risk just for those trees, and that is very brave of you. How do you survive? I would like to be one of you, but I am only 8. Please write back to me if you can. Yours faithfully, Connor Mardle."
Well done. Great. Okay. We'll let you go. Thank you for joining us. We know that there's another story to be told. We know the Wicklow County Council will have their day in court. We know there's another argument, but we wanted to sort of put a face on some of you guys just to let people see what sort of people you are. Nice to meet you and thank you. Lorraine, thank you for joining us as well. Okay. We'll let you go at this stage and come back to us after this break. Thank you. Well done. Okay.